Good morning, good morning. Good morning, community. How are you? It's Friday. Yay. You made it. You made it again. In spite of everything that's going on, you're here. You made it. Congratulations. Good morning to the West Coast. A little chilly for us today. And East Coast rather. New York, Baltimore, Maryland. How are you guys doing? Well, let's see. Today is May 29th, which means for some people, by next week or two, next couple of days or so, June 1st, there'll be some more restrictions that'll be lifted. So you will probably experience a feeling of more freedom in some regards. I really think now it's about we have the basic information. There's not a whole lot that's going to change, I don't think. And now it's about each of us navigating our lives and the choices that we want and the choices that we're going to make to take care of ourselves and our family. And if we do that 1,000%, then ultimately we will be taking care of the neighbors that I always talk to you about, as well as our community and the world. So be mindful. That's all I can say is be mindful. I was out yesterday and I did my walk unexpectedly and I didn't have my mask with me. So I was very mindful of everyone else because I know there's this thing about you don't have your mask on, what's wrong with you? And even though it was early, it still wasn't as early as I usually go walking. So I'm very aware of it. So you'll just have to make the best decisions, the highest decisions you can make for yourself. And I trust that some of that will include and impact your families, the immediate community that you live in, as well as the world that we live in. I'm looking ahead already because this means it's June. We're halfway through the year. Look at what our year has been like. And then in 2 months, we'll be ready for the students to go to school, which is going to be a whole nother experience for all of us. Because I've seen the plastic sheets that they're saying maybe putting in the classrooms and all of that. So realize we're not going back to anything. We're still going forward. All of the precautions that we're taking now will probably stay in place for another 6 months to a year at least. So try to be mindful that this is like, I want to say it's like love making. It's something that's got to go slow. Remember that, folks? It's got to go slow. You've got to make good decisions. You've got to think about yourself and your family, yes, but also those next to you. You've got to think about things you probably don't think about much, which is other people. You have to think about the neighbors, the person in line behind you. And that's big for us because we are a pretty capitalistic society that's pretty much focused on capitalism. So now we're being called to move out of the spending and the premise for which this country was built, which is capitalism, and focus on, I want to say companions, but really focus on humanity. And I think that's what pisses me off so much is that when they set America up and they set it up around the rows of races, because that's what they did. They decided we would be Black Americans. We didn't. They decided there was Asian Americans. They decided there were Mexican Americans. What would have happened in the world if we were just Americans? Why we got to be all the other things? But it's the labeling of us and it shrinks us. When someone says black, it does this to you. If someone says white, it does this to you. If someone says Mexican, it does this. When someone says Asian, it does this to you. Think about it. Every word has an impact and it helps us already define who the person is or who the person may be or what the person may or may not be doing without even giving them a chance to speak for themselves. Isn't that ridiculous what we do? Nonetheless, as you step out there, this weekend or today, it's Friday. Some people may be able to get into some bars, I guess. I have no desire to be in any enclosed places with anyone except for my home. So you just got to be mindful. And as for all the things that are going on in the world, I had to look up another word because I believe, I'm like, okay, computer, I know I charged you last night. I believe it's what the muscle that we have, and we all have it. And I think particularly for women, but all of us, we exercise this muscle on a regular basis. We don't really evaluate it. We don't really say, I wonder how do I do that? We just do it. Because if you're a person of color in America, and that's across the board, you have to have this muscle and you have to use it and you have to exercise it. And the reason is because it helps you come back to center faster. See, oftentimes when things happen and we go from center, then we go all the way over here, sometimes to even being flat. And then we have to gradually bring ourselves back up. And I believe for many of us several days ago, with the policeman and the gentleman on the street. We were like this, but you know, each day something happens, you go like this, you bring yourself back. You go like this, you bring yourself back. And then some days something happens and it just leaves you flat. And then you gradually have to bring yourself back up. And so in those instances, certainly continuing to look at the news and television and everything that's going on there doesn't help. If anything, it just infuriates you and makes you more angry and mad and pissed off, or maybe helps you feel even a greater sense of helplessness. But this is a muscle we all have, and we've used it. In order for you to be on the planet still to this moment, you've used this muscle, and it's your bounce back muscle. Tell me about your bounce back muscle. Hashtag replay. Let me know your name, what state you're in, and tell me, what do you know about your about your bounce back muscle? Your bounce back muscle. What do you know about it? Your bounce back muscle. That muscle is a muscle that no matter what happens, no how many times you lay down, no matter if you receive a message that someone in your family has passed, no matter if you get fired, no matter if the relationship ends, the divorce isn't working, no matter if it feels like you've been getting beat up or battered or whatever, and you say, it's enough, I'm leaving. This is a powerful muscle. It's your bounce back muscle, i.e. your resilience. And I have to contend there are most people on this planet have had to activate this muscle, your bounce back muscle. So now, your resilience, I don't need you to be like so quickly in it, in bouncing back. I want you to be able to assess what's going on, feel whatever is going on, feel how it feels inside of you, make some peace with it. However you go through that process, and as you make peace with it, you bounce back. You're still in the game. Nobody's committing suicide. Nobody's leaving early. We're going to do what we came here to do on the planet. That's why we're still here now. So it requires that we exercise this muscle. Just like you hear me walking up to the hill. I've been doing that since we started in March. Well, you have that same thing. It's your bounce back. If you're laid flat, if you're just horizontal, however it moves you, it goes time for you to go from laying down flat to getting up and bouncing back to center in your life. Because as we live and operate in being centered, we may go here a little bit, we may go here a little bit, but we know we want to come back to here because this is when we're in our power. This is our power. Also, though, sometimes when we're down like this and we're allowed ourselves to be there and fully feel it, this is our bounce back power too, because once we feel it and we get the clarity on it, we can bounce back really quick. You know how that is, ladies. Sometimes something will happen. You'll think about it. Maybe spend some time with yourself at nighttime. Really think about it. Dive inside your heart. And the next day when you get clear, you're like, bam, I'm clear on this. I'm done. Whatever it is, you're done. You're going to move forward. You're going to make it happen. You're going to take action. But now you've bounced back. And so I believe that each and every one of us, one of the gifts we've been given is the power to bounce back, to be resilient, to recover. No matter what America seems to come up with, what America says, what America's trying to do, we bounce back. I like that. We bounce back. Hey, we bounce back. You can't keep a good woman, good man, child, children, community down because, say it with me, we bounce back. So that's your Friday fun, if that's what I put on there. Sorry, I did not get out. You are my first communication. I did not go walk this morning. I stayed up until like 2 o'clock in the morning working on this incredible program and process that I'm going to ask you to join me in. And it's called The Money Taboo Girls Talk. And it's so exciting, powerful conversations. It's going to be a series of conversations that we're going to have about money. And then at the end of that, then we're going to jump into a 5-day challenge of create your wealth plan. And I'm sure when you hear that, you're like, I don't have no wealth. I don't need to create no wealth plan. But if you don't create a wealth plan, you won't have any wealth and move toward wealth. We create plans so we have something to pull us forward toward our goal. And I don't know anybody on this planet that doesn't want to have more revenue, more income, more vacations, more peace of mind as it relates to money. So I just hopped up this morning, I think like at 8:30, and I was like, oh my God, I had slept, but it was fine because I was up until 1:30. So you're my first. I just want to say have an incredible weekend. Make it the most amazing, fun, relaxing weekend that you could have. Feel free to do nothing. Feel free to keep doing what you've been doing on the weekends. They've closed our hiking trails, so no one's going to be coming out here to hike this weekend. We lost that advantage. Maybe in a couple more weeks we'll do better and they'll open it up again for us. You cannot be on the beaches sitting unless you're 6 feet apart. But I don't think you, no, that's wrong. I'm wrong. Sorry. You cannot be doing anything on the beaches except for physical activities. You're not supposed to be going to the beach to sit down. You're supposed to go ride your bikes, whatever they have out there, hovercrafts, skateboards, walking. That's what's supposed to be happening at the beaches. So just be mindful in what you do. Have an incredible weekend. But remember what I said, you got a bounce back muscle. And you have been bouncing back your entire life. So you have the power to do just that in these times. And then we'll see what next week brings us. I mean, it's starting to be like a roller coaster ride, and I don't even like roller coasters. It's like, what? But I really think we're doing more of this, and it looks like we may taper off, but now we have to wait and see what's going to happen from all the people going out and being around each other, and if they're going to start filling up the hospitals. But I know that won't be you. And you know what? It won't be me either. So have yourself an incredible weekend. And what did I say? Hashtag replay what? Bounce back muscles. Bounce back muscles. We got that. It's been given to us. God gave us that ability. Now let's use it. Bounce back. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.